Level 1, finding our centers, elementally intuitive movement 101. Level 1, focusing on our feet. That's our foundation. But we're gonna start with some O. And I wanna check in, how are you feeling today? How do you feel? Do you feel okay? I hope you feel okay. If you don't feel okay, check in with your body. Where do you not feel okay? What doesn't feel okay inside? What doesn't feel okay outside? Okay. Well, since we can't do too much other than be right here, right now, let's just shake off anything that we're not okay with. And so we're gonna do that with our O hands. And we're gonna put our hands together and we're gonna move them from side to side rapidly. And before you know it, you're shaking, right? Keep our feet planted. We can have our feet in front of us, or we can have our feet side to side. I'm on an incline here, so I have to adjust for that. Like this, and I'm more even. And it's through the movement of our arms that we get the shaking of the rest of our bodies. And so you can just move our arms, push them from side to side, and shake, and breathe, and just go ahead and shake off anything that doesn't feel okay right now. And we'll just say that it's okay now. Okay, so now we're okay. And we can progress to level 1. Level 1 is finding our center. So we went over that with our breath. We're going to continue that nasal breathing as much as possible, as much we can think about it. If we drop that ball, that's okay. We pick it back up again. And level 1, we maintain our hands in contact with our bodies. This is how we're finding our centers. We're using our hands or our arms, be hands-free, but arms are in contact, to become familiar with where our bodies are in space. So this gives us a sense of proprioception. So while we are practicing this proprioception, we can use this as an opportunity to do self-massage. But also, while we're doing that, let's pay attention to the position of our feet, making sure that the alignment of the foot is with the knee. So we want our toes facing forward, not to the side or to the side, especially when we're applying force. So getting used to this application of force when our feet are in alignment with our knees will help train us to choose that stance when we do need to apply force to our knees. And then we're less likely to experience the wear and tear that comes from shifting the foot position, because when the foot position is off to one side or to the other, there's not the same alignment of this bone within the knee. So we need this to line up here for the hinge mechanism to move evenly. Otherwise, there's going to be wear to one side or wear to the other. And over a lifetime of body usage has its effect. So we can prevent that by paying attention to how we're placing our feet. So we're doing that with our O's as we're moving through and thinking about it. How does it feel? Working barefoot is great because you can see your feet. You can also pick up the information that's coming in from the nerves in your feet. Hey, I know there's people there, and that's okay. You can hush now. Thank you. I don't know if they will or not. Hopefully it doesn't come across too uncomfortably in the video here. So we are continuing our exploration, and our feet are still planted. Why are our feet planted? Because we're learning how to move through space with our bodies in a particular place, and exploring all the different ways that we could potentially move and maintain contact with our bodies at the same time while our feet are in the same stationary position. And we'll shift positions and see, well, how does it feel like to move from here? So while we're doing this, we're stretching, we're getting a sense of pressure from our hands, which is engaging our cutaneous nerves, and they're getting information, sensory information. If we come across anything that feels uncomfortable when we press on it, then our body becomes aware, oh, hey, there's something there, let me do something about that. And that's good. It's good to be aware of what's going on in our bodies. Often if we don't press on them, we can't tell what's going on because there's a lot that our nervous system is processing. So taking a few minutes to explore and determine, how do things feel, gives us a sense of what's going on in our bodies, but also how much space we're taking up in space and where we are in space. We don't have to do level 1 the whole time. We can mix in O's, so we get more of that stretching, explore our near sphere, far sphere, move through space, change elevations, check in with your feet. Where is my foot position? Are my feet lined up with my knees? Because once you train your body to do that while you're practicing it consciously, it's more likely to do it like that the rest of the time when you're not thinking about it. And that's the goal, is to get ourselves to being imperfectly functional most of the time and not really having to think about what our bodies are doing, because we can trust that they know how to move through space in a way that we will adapt, that we will shift, that we will be able to handle what's coming, and then focus on that and not have to worry about what this is doing, because we are inhabiting our bodies and we know how to move them effectively and efficiently through space. And that is the goal of elementally intuitive movement. So there we go. That is the feet. That is level 1 for today. As we progress, these sessions will be shorter because I already gave you a lot of information that first time around, so we don't need to cover as much. Also, there's not as much about the feet to cover as there is about breath. And that's why breath is that first foundation. But the feet are important because our feet are our base. The force that we put on our feet travels up our bodies all the way through. How we position our feet affects how we position our bodies. How we position our bodies affects how we experience compensation for imbalance, and over time that can turn into dysfunction. So rather than deal with the dysfunction later, which is what I had to do as a massage therapist for many years, I would prefer for you to start when you're young to learn how to move through space effectively, so that way you don't have to deal with a lot of the dysfunction that many adults have had to deal with because they weren't aware of how to effectively move their bodies through space. So there we are. Elementally Intuitive Movement 101, ko-fi.com. Here we are. Thank you so much. Pass this on, share it. And I'll see you next time for level 2 next week. Great, thank you.